So if you're like me, you're always trying to find ways to give back some of your time. So you're always looking for ways to kind of get through stuff quickly so you have more time for yourself in terms of growing a business, growing your YouTube, your purpose, your job, whatever the case may be. You're trying to find ways to get back your time so you can do the stuff that you want to do and the stuff that you care about. Well, the 4 habits that I'm going to teach you today, the 1-minute habits that literally will take you 60 seconds, will save you so much time. You wish you had done some of these earlier. Hello everyone, my name is Sean Tanakino and I teach the next generation. And before this one gets started, I just wanted to quickly plug my coaching one-on-one sales call, that if you want to do some time management stuff, get better at your time management, your productivity, you name it, I'm the guy. I'm going to do whatever I can to make sure you are the top 1% for time management and productivity. I will be in your corner and I'll help you out. And I'll help you out right now as well with these easy tips. So probably the easiest one that everyone can do right now. If it's possible and you're in a position where you have a bit of extra income, which you probably should, and you have a job, you got a business, etc., etc. If you can, look to find ways to outsource the work. Find ways to have other people do the work for you. Try to find ways that make sure that you don't do the work that isn't, it's important, but is it the most important thing? So I can give you some context. So for me, when I first started my book business, I was personally doing all the repricing. So I'd always change the prices to accommodate where the books were costing. So I would go into my Amazon with about 100 books and individually change the prices on all of them to kind of match what other people were selling. Because sometimes it would go up, sometimes it would go down. So I want to make sure, level it out. When we got to about 200 units, it made sense to get a repricer. So instead of having to spend an hour or 2 hours repricing 200 books, I just spent, I think at the time was like $10, and it did it for me. I just set the specific parameters I wanted and it did the rest for me. So every day, back 2 hours. What could I do with those 2 hours? Go get more books, sourcing, learn more about selling on Amazon. I was able to do a lot more and got back a lot of time because of the repricer. To this day, I still have a repricer. Granted, it's changed, but I still have one because I know I would rather spend the $30 or just about for it than do it myself for 1,500 books. See what I mean? You need to find ways to delegate or outsource stuff that you don't have to do that might still be important. So another thing, when I plan on moving in the coming days or the coming month, I want to look into getting a cleaning service because I don't want to spend my time cleaning. I could care less. Someone do it for me. I don't care. I know how to clean. My family runs a cleaning business. I understand how to clean. I would have to, but I don't want to do it. Why would I want to spend 2 hours cleaning when I can do that doing other stuff that I want to do, like record 2 hours more videos of content? It doesn't really make sense for me. So have someone else do it. So try and find ways to outsource the stuff that you still need to get done, but that you could potentially trade your money for and get time back. Start thinking like that. Try to find ways to outsource, delegate, remove yourself from it. It still gets done and you focus on stuff that you care more about. The next thing is actually something I've been doing recently. Batching work and projects. So when I mean batching, it's when you do a lot of the same thing in one day. So I'll give you another example. Today, I'm recording 10 videos, and this is the 8th one I'm recording. So I recorded from 4 a.m. to 7 a.m. I took about a 30-minute break at 8 and, took a walk. And then I started back. It's currently 8:30, and I'm recording the next video. And then I'm going to record 2 more, and then I'm done recording. And then I'll probably do editing and stuff later today, upload it, get it out of the way. Tomorrow, I will be making all the thumbnails for the videos, all of them, all 10 of them, making 10 thumbnails. And then the following day, I have something to do. The following day, probably plan the next 10 videos, probably script them, schedule when I'm going to do them, and then record. You do all of one specific task that same day. Because what I found difficult is I tried this myself last week. I tried to script, record, edit, upload 3 videos. It took me the whole day because I had to keep switching my mindset to, okay, so now I'm in scripting mode. Now I got to go to recording mode. Then I got to go to editing mode and I got to do it again in a cycle. It was taxing on the brain and I only did 3. I'm on 8 right now. And while my head hurts a little bit, I can finish these next 2 videos, no problemo. So I would, if you can, try and batch your work into one day, if possible. If not possible, I understand, but definitely try. If you have a bit like, I think this applies more to entrepreneurs, I would say. Try to batch all your work in one day. That's the same type of work. Business, try and batch. I mean, I couldn't really tell you because all I did was teaching, but try and batch all your work into like one general idea that falls into one category and just do that and do the other thing the following day and so on and so forth. That's probably what I would do if I was in your situation. So I think I can tell you for me, for my book business, I would do sourcing on Monday, and then I would do listing on Tuesday, like cleaning it up and all that. And then on Wednesday, everything gets shipped out. Something like that, to give you an example. Next thing on the list, trying to get into a flow state. So a flow state is where you're not thinking about other stuff that you have to do. Oh, I got to do this at this time. Oh, I make sure I eat this time. Make sure I walk the dog at this time. I do this at this time. I got to talk to someone else at this time. You're not thinking. All you're thinking. And I think the easiest way to describe flow state is the gym. When you're at the gym and you have your, let's say your PR is right there. So you're going to try to hit your PR today. And you're just talking with your buddies, talking with your pal, just hanging out, vibing. And then you go under the bench and you click. You change to a completely different person and you focus on lifting that damn weight. That's kind of what you should try and start working towards for your work as well. So for me, I was just speaking with my family because they're about to go do something. I was like, oh, let's try and do something later today. And then I came downstairs, instantly press record. I'm in the flow state. I know I have to record. I gotta do this. I know what I'm talking about. I'm very passionate about what I'm talking about, so I can do it. You should try and do the same thing as well. Try to get into a flow state where you just work and it's easy and it's smooth and you just think about work. Just think about it so you get it done fast, efficient, right away. Genuinely, flow state, very underrated. You can get that down pat, you are golden, because that is a very difficult thing to learn. I learned it through gym because I do this all the time. I'll relax, I'll go use the bathroom, get a couple of drinks, look through my phone, and immediately the most serious man in the gym arrives when he starts lifting those weights. That's how I work. The last thing that I mentioned, this one might be a bit controversial depending on your music taste. I listen to music during my deep work hours. So right now, obviously I'm not listening to music. I'm recording, so I can't really do that. But when I do the editing or when I'm scripting, I listen to music, but it's the type of music that might be controversial. So personally, I listen to lo-fi, but in reality, what you should be listening to, I think it's one of 4. Instrumental I found pretty good. Lo-fi, very good, reliable. White noise, where it's something that you can sleep. It's also used for focus. Or probably the best one that people will argue for is silence. I personally listen to music. I can't stand the silence. I can obviously, handle through it, but I need music. So I go with lo-fi. But with lo-fi and the flow state, like I can get a couple of days worth of work done in like 3 hours. Like I'm focused. I got my music. I'm ready. I'm focused. So you should think about doing some of these. I would definitely recommend out of all of them to try and find a way to batch work. If you can get in the mindset of, okay, so I have this many things that are the same. So like for me, I have 10 videos to record. Can I record them all in one day? Yes. Will you? Yeah, I'm doing it now. Try and find it that way. Then I would try, if you have the excess income that you can afford to, maybe find ways to use that to get some time back. Cleaning service. Takeout service, not takeout service, meal service, where you get your clean, healthy meals instead of having to cook, which may impede your time. It's all just a matter of trying to find ways to maximize your time, because your time, as I've said before, is very important. So keep that in mind. And I'll mention the 4 once again. It's outsourcing work so that you don't have to work, batching your work on projects, trying to get into a flow state, and listening to music during deep work hours, or if you prefer, silence or white noise. And so with that, those are the 4 1-minute habits that save me personally about 20 hours a week. If you want to learn more time management stuff, you can click subscribe on the channel, or if you want to really get down to business, click that sales call like I mentioned earlier. All right, take care.